There we go. Hey! Hello, everybody. Happily Married Monday with the Jolleys. Coming at you. How are you? Look at my little cute wife's new hairdo. I gotta get me in there. All right, there we go. Oh, happily Married Monday with. Look at that hair. Isn't she cute? Cute as a little button.
Thank you, dear. Good evening.
Hello, everybody. Dr. Willie Jolley.
And this is D. Taylor Jolley.
Happily Married Monday with the Jollies. We're here, and we're excited about another Happily Married Monday with you. Come closer to me, sweetie pie. Come closer. Come stand up for a second. Come closer. There you go. All right. There you go. So, it's tax day here in America, and people are scurrying to get their taxes done, and we wanted to talk about a couple things that might impact your marriage, finances and money, and some research we found about the impact being married and staying married, happily married, can have on your taxes and on your finances and relationships. So
we're coming at it from two different perspectives.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right. One of the things we talk about in the book, and for those who might be joining us for the first time, Happily Married Monday is about the book Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last with Dr. Willie and D. Jolley, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage, and then the audio version of the same that now is doing so well. Before we get started, we're gonna promote something a couple times tonight so that y'all can hear about it and know about it. That's what's coming up next Monday night. Sidechickology. Why men and women cheat, understanding, avoiding, and recovering from infidelity. Wow.
An awesome book.
My wife came to me about a month ago, a little over a month ago, said, we got to talk about this book. My initial response was, I don't know if we want to talk about something that is so personal and difficult in marriages. I don't have a frame of reference to talk about this because I can honestly say I was very, very...
But he was a very actively single person.
Single guy.
And I said that I thought that the book gave a great perspective on how men think. Some men, I won't say all men think, before getting married. And that ladies all need to read this book because it gives you like the inside aha in terms of how men think.
Right. Well, she read it, and it's more, and then I read it.
I downloaded it immediately.
And I read it. It's by Reverend Keith Battle, Pastor Keith Battle. Keith has been married to his wife Vicky for over 3 decades, and their relationship has gone from the darkest valley to the brightest mountain. Keith counsels married couples, mentors professional athletes, and consults with church and business leaders. He's the senior pastor of Zion Church, and he is completely transparent in his book and talks about how bad their marriage was and how early in their marriage he stepped outside of his marriage.
Well, the focus is on...
But that's not the focus.
That it's a slippery slope. You don't just one day decide you're going to be unfaithful.
Right.
And that it's a process.
It reads, Sidechickology is an honest and sincere look into the world of relationship infidelity. Keith Battle's writing on this subject is both transparent and prescriptive. This book doesn't just reveal what causes extramarital affairs, but how those side relationships are groomed, which Dee was just saying, developed, and covered.
So it gives you an opportunity to know what to watch out for. What are the signs?
Conversely, Sidechickology gives tools and instructions on how to protect individuals and marriages from betrayal and how, this is the big one, to salvage and rebuild a relationship that has been shattered by unfaithfulness. He said he tells his story and the lessons he learned and how he and his wife are
healed their relationship.
So
if you're talking about that close to that, at least 50% of marriages break up.
Yep.
Infidelity.
Yep.
So sex and money.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so knowing what the signs and symptoms are and how to rebuild and the strategies that he gives and the stories is outstanding.
It really is.
All right. So
in the interview we're going to hear it next Monday night.
Sidechickology.
You want to tell everybody you know this is one you don't want to miss. So next Monday night will be Easter Monday. Some of you will have had the day off, so you can rest through the day, so you can be tuned in at 9 o'clock next Monday night for this incredible experience about this incredible book.
All right. So our topic for tonight is marriage and money.
Marriage and money, and particularly we talk about two sides: the fact that money and taxes. Some people get all tripped up over filing jointly or filing separately, or disclosing what kind of monies they have to their spouse because they don't want nobody to know but themselves. And we know that's not a good strategy for a healthy, honest.
Well, those are conversations or things that should have been worked out early on or before they got married. But nevertheless,
it happens. So
Here we
are.
So we have two different approaches to tonight, money and marriage. And my focus was on your marriage affects your money knowledge. And you say, what? What are you talking about?
What does that mean?
That.
Did I tell you were cute tonight?
Yes, dear.
Look at that little cute hairdo. She turns me.
All
on.
Right, you're trying to get close to me for later on in the evening. Let's focus on marriage and money.
Go ahead.
And the particular article that I was reading was from a research publication from the Journal of Consumer Research that was published in April of 2018, and it found that the longer a couple stays together, the greater the difference in terms of their knowledge is about finances and their ability to be able to make good decisions about their finances. It was like that kind of struck me. The longer a couple is together, the more one party has knowledge about the finances and the other one doesn't, and is able to make good money decisions according to this particular research.
Okay.
For example, and they said, now why is that? Because you start to focus on something that interests you. They say, for example, a husband and wife both read the newspaper. One focuses on the business section and the other focuses on the sports section.
Okay.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
They listen to the radio. Okay, like us.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to get to the people who have comments.
Oh, one focuses on politics, for example, like I do.
Yep.
And you, in turn, want to turn and focus on music.
Yes.
Okay?
By the way, Olympia loves your hair.
Oh, thank you, sweetie.
And
that was my
Kimberly,
drastic change for the day.
Hello to Kimberly.
Hi.
From Get Motivated. Hey, Kimberly from Get Motivated.
Aww.
God bless you. Thank you. You know what? Before we go into this, I am shocked at how many people come up to us and say, I watch every week. Now, they might not comment, but we see all of these numbers coming on, and this is the highest viewed program or anything that we do on my website. So thank you, and share this. Hit the share button. Hit the little things that go up and all of the I like and all of that. So anyway, share it. Okay, keep going, baby.
Okay, so the research says partners rely on each other for certain information and decision making.
Okay.
So if you take us, for example, so we work together, all of that. What do you rely on me for related to the business? And we were talking about that today.
Yeah, we're talking about that today. I'll be honest with you. I'm transparent. I have thrown the taxes, abdicated my responsibility in terms of taxes because she does it so well that I just let her do it. Now, I told
You
her
ask questions
I'll ask a couple questions, but she takes it.
repeatedly.
Where are we on this tax thing? And so, but I kind of abdicated, and I told her I was going to be more proactive in the future because I know that's a lot on her. But she has such a wealth of knowledge, and she, you know, in the book we talk about. Tell them about our first tax time experience. Tell them the story that's in the book. Tell them that story. It's right in the book.
Just a summary. He came with all of his tax materials in a brown paper bag. It was a shock. All his little receipts. And he thought that he was well prepared for tax time. And I did not say what was going on in my mind. What the heck is this and what am I supposed to do with it? Because I had come from an organized approach because I had to, because I handled the finances for my father's church. I worked with the CPA and all of that. So I had a completely different approach. So I naturally leaned towards a system, an approach that I had been taught in terms of managing the finances. He did not have that.
Nope.
So
my mama, let me just put it, my mama was a school teacher who did World Book Encyclopedia to help put us through school. She had an aversion to paying her taxes. And so my mama she'd be years late every year. I mean,
wow.
my mom, that was my mama. That was Catherine. She was as sweet as she could be, but she did not do it on time ever. So that's what I grew up in. It wasn't.
But she was years late. Not that she didn't do it on time and file an extension. She was years late.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be scared. That's so. Going back to why is it that couples, the longer they are together, there tends to be a difference in who manages the finances and their view. One knows a lot about finance and the other doesn't, because we tend to gravitate towards what we are naturally inclined to do.
Right.
Since I crunch the numbers, pay the bills, even though we go through the list of what are we paying, what are we doing, where are we with the filings, I actually do it.
Right.
So it's not primary in your mind.
Right. Right. She does all of the above. She talks to the accountant. She works with the bookkeeper for the personal and the business. And I'm focused on generating more dollars. And I'm the rainmaker. What I like to say, I'm the tree shaker. She's the jelly maker. Come on, somebody.
So the summary here is that
Did I tell you were cute?
You no longer need to know everything. You need to know who knows everything.
Okay, I like that.
So we no longer need to know everything. We need to know which one of us knows the most about it. Now, therein comes a problem.
Right.
If partner becomes ill,
yeah,
pass away suddenly, and the one who is managing the finances has not laid out everything, that's a problem.
That's a problem. And that could be a major problem. We've seen it happen. And people don't know. And we've had a couple call us and tell us, the wife said, I don't know how much money he makes. I don't know where the money is. I don't know anything. He pays all the bills. I live a nice life. But what happens if something happens to him? And so I'm not quite that pitiful. Because I have some
well, we have a system.
But you got a system, and she has taught me the system.
So here's what I say. The person who knows the information needs to provide a system so that knowledge is not just with them.
Right.
So that knowledge is transferable. So what is the system? And the system for us,
here we go.
It's the book. It's the finance book.
The finance book.
And it's a big book. All right, you're like, what in the world is in the finance book? It's divided into topics. So we have banking information.
Yep.
Now, what would be in the banking information section?
Banking information.
The checking account, the savings account, the investment account.
Yes.
And the passwords. Then you say everything's supposed to be whatever that word is, scrambled or something. But the usernames and the passwords. You got your credit cards.
Yep.
Usernames, passwords, the credit limits, what's outstanding, what's charged, the kinds of things that are charged on X accounts. Okay, housing. If you have the mortgage note, the mortgage amount, the mortgage company, all of that information. Your insurances, auto insurance, the health insurance, long-term care insurance. And then you got your where do you find your wills? Right. Where are they located?
Do you have a will?
Is it in a safety deposit box?
Stop. Do you have a will? If you don't have a will for your family, what you want to happen, that's a terrible legacy to leave on your spouse for something happened to you. You need to have a will so nobody's wondering, guessing, scratching their head, what did she want or he want? And that is a terrible thing if you don't have a will and if you don't have life insurance. You must and should be responsible enough to have life insurance. Go ahead, Dee.
Okay, so those are the major categories. We have a lot more because we're doing business as well as personal. The categories like, okay, I said credit cards, I said insurances. What if you have other loans? What if you have equity lines and the like?
Right.
Okay, what if you have, okay, because of business we have postage, shipping.
And we got properties.
Properties, and it's in alphabetical order. So I'm suggesting for the one who is the primary, who's handling the finances, it's good to have a master plan, a master list, a book where all the primary information is found, or the book tells you where to go to find the key information.
So let me read the piece from the book that talks about what we just talked about. Dee's perspective. It was a bright spring day when Willie came to me with a big smile. "I'm ready for the tax man," he proclaimed. He placed a wrinkled brown grocery bag on the corner of my desk. "What's that for?" I asked. "Those are my receipts and bank statements for the year, all ready for the tax preparer." She said I was speechless. That was our first personal tax return preparation as a couple. Since she had worked with the administrative side of her mom and dad's business, including their church, she understood financial details. That made it easy for us to agree that she should be responsible for getting the taxes done. At the time, we were getting ready to visit a local tax preparer, and she assumed that it would be a breeze. But assumptions are never good, especially when it comes to couples and anything money related. That's where I really wanted to get to. Don't make assumptions. Talk about it. She made the mistake of assuming that I would have everything together.
Not only talk about it, but have a plan. When things go awry, or there are emergencies and you're not thinking logically, you need to have a place. Here's where the important papers are.
Right.
When my mom passed and my dad said, "Okay, Dee, you got it. You can handle everything." My mom had everything in file drawers, and I just went and looked in alphabetical order for what I needed to do.
So there's some steps that we talk about in the book about having those uncomfortable, difficult financial conversations. And if you don't use those, if you use them, they'll make it so much easier. We recommend, if you don't have the book, order 2 copies, one for you and one for your significant other. Make love, make money, make it last at jollymarriage.com. And then get to jollymarriage.com live for the live seminar, which is dynamite.
All right.
Now
your approach was
my
different.
Approach was about taxes.
Marriage and money.
I'm always thinking about how we can get a better tax statement, strategy, positioning. Your spouse may be a tax shelter. This is from a couple who
your spouse might be a tax shelter?
Yeah.
Okay. What does
so
that
this
mean?
is from a couple who are both financial planners and CPAs. One doesn't advise anyone to seek out a partner specifically because he or she has a business that's losing money, but it's worth noting that the negative numbers on one person in a marriage can help both spouses.
I think that's terrible.
Well, he said, but the losing...
Where'd you get that information?
It's 7 tax advantages of getting married or being married.
So marry somebody who has a losing business?
Hey.
Well, I don't agree. Okay.
Well, that's not the reason you get married. If they did that, that would be stupid. But understanding that there could be some loss. Okay. Jobless spouse can have an IRA. A spouse may contribute to an individual retirement account even if he or she doesn't work. So that's important for us to know about the impacts of IRA.
Okay. So if you have one spouse who stays home and is raising the children, it's important to note that they can have an IRA.
Yes. Another one is a married couple can get greater charitable contribution deductions. There's a limit to the charitable contributions that may be deducted in a year based on income. Having a spouse can raise that limit. If one of them makes very large charitable contributions but doesn't have income of at least double that amount, the excess contributions are carried over to the following year. She noted, in a jointly filed return, they can add the spouse's income and determine the current deductible amount.
Okay, let me stop. So the question that I have is that these are only advantages if you are filing a joint return.
If you're filing, this is some of the things they're talking about to filing together as a married couple.
Okay.
You can protect your estate. Being married can help a wealthy person protect the assets he or she leaves behind when they die. Now, we talked about it. We've been doing estate planning with our estate planning attorney, and it's been very illuminating, hasn't it? Yes.
Yes, but you really need to have a professional. That is not something, a lot of people say, you know what, I can go online and I can use LegalZoom. I can do my will. I can do, it really depends upon if you have anything. Even if you have a little, you want to have that little to go to the right people. And
right.
And if you don't really understand terminology correctly, it would behoove you to get to actually talk to an attorney and not just download a form and do it.
One of the things that people say in this marriage is that, in marriage and money, is that get on the same page. One thing I will say, we're on the same page. We have never had an argument about money since we've been married with our personal lives, because we got the system established early on. And we talk about in the book the 3 systems. And we encourage you to read that last chapter, chapter 10, not the last chapter, chapter 10, so that you can get your system, the one that works for you. Because some people have no system. We've had a couple of people who've called and have arguments. We said, what's your system? They don't know. That no system. It just kind of make up as they go along. So get a system. Each of you should prepare your list of financial liabilities and assets. And when you talk about the money, talk about it honestly and openly. If you got
liabilities
issues.
And assets, what you own and what you owe. I mean, just plain and simple.
Discuss your mutual financial goals, short-term, long-term, so your marriage, household, and family.
Sometimes you really have to stop and just talk about it. You might have to let it marinate for a while, because you might not have clear-cut goals.
Right.
If you don't plan for yearly goals, or where do I think I want to be in 5 or 10 years, you're not going to sit down and say, okay, what are your goals? What are your goals? And let's figure it out. It really is a changing of one's thinking.
Take classes together and attend financial planning workshops.
That can be really illuminating.
Help you become familiar with the terminology and approaches of the financial planner.
In other words, get educated.
Literacy. Financial literacy. And we've done that together over the years. We have done that. We've gone to classes together. Then she reads voraciously. Dee is a voracious reader. Just amazes me how much she reads. But then she shares it with me and says, she'll leave an article.
Here are the highlights.
Here are the highlights. Here's something you need to read. You need to know about. Because she knows I've got to prepare for my XM show every week. I got to read a book for that, or I got to read a book for something else. And so
I'm trying to fill in the gaps.
We're trying to fill in the gap. Hey, you know what? I should take this call. I'll go not take it. Let's see. We got 5 minutes. Hold on. This is Kenny Glass. Let me tell you why this is important, because he's featured.
I was just listening to that wonderful voicemail.
Oh, listen, Kenny, we on live on television, and
we're on Facebook Live.
On Facebook Live right now. And I saw your number come in, and I said I'll call him back. But then I said, let me call him back, because you and your wife Rudine are in our book, and we talk about how long have y'all been married, Kenny?
We've been married for 47 years, and we'll be celebrating our 48th anniversary this coming December.
Wow. And y'all got married right out of college, correct?
Right out of college.
And Rudy, she ran the finances. She kept things moving, even though y'all had one big income while the kids were growing up. Am I right?
That's right.
And that was your system, and it has continued even though the kids are grown.
It's still working right now. Yes, it's still working. It's existing.
And y'all have been happily married, and you should see them. They're like teenagers. 47 years. Well, we're going to Detroit in a couple of weeks. We're going to spend time with them. There's two of our greatest friends. We love them. I just wanted you to tell people that what we say in the book is true.
It is very true. It is very true. And I tell you, the best thing in the world is open communications and honesty and integrity.
Wow. That says it, folks. Kenny, I'll call you back in a little while, buddy. That was right on. All right, buddy.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Wow. I didn't know he was going to call in, but I'm glad he did. Anyway, honesty, integrity, and communication. Wow. 47 years, going on 48 years. And
Especially about the finance.
And they got the one pot. They had nothing when they started. All the money went in one pot, and so they're the two pot. The Borleys use the two pot. We use the three pot. Read up on your system. Do with it.
Well, get a system.
If you don't have a system,
one.
read up. Get the book. We want to save 1 million marriages, enhance 1 million more. We done the research. Use what we got. Make your marriage happy. Happily Married Monday on the Jolleys. Okay, our time is just about up. Next Monday night, Sidechickology. Whoo, this is hot. This is going to be a hot show. Don't miss it. Next Monday night, 9 o'clock. I want you to tell everybody. And share this with everybody you know. Hit the share button. Hit the share button.
Over
hit the
top.
share button. Hit. Like.
Calm down.
Share.
Thank you. Jolly out.
Jolly out. We love y'all. God bless you. She's a cutie, isn't she? Bye. See y'all.